Hey guys, so it's been an interesting 24 hours for me and my mom here. And why? Well, because basically our water heater went out, or was starting to go out yesterday. To the point that when I was getting ready for work yesterday in the morning, getting myself in the shower and, getting my stuff together and everything, I noticed that the water was lukewarm. And I had it at its highest for hot water because I like to take hot showers. Gets me, gets my body relaxed a little bit, but also wakes it up. Gives me, kind of warms me up as well from waking up kind of cold and everything, but not totally cold. But you get the idea for anybody that takes hot showers in the morning to get themselves going. Anyway, I noticed that it's lukewarm. And I'm thinking, okay, that's not a good sign. So I go into the garage and notice that the system on there, it's because there's like a little system on there, which, has a dial, which allows you to either light the pilot light if you know how to do it, lets you select the temperature that you want to be at, whether it's A for 125 to 130 degrees, almost 140, B, C, or very hot, whatever you want to call it, or whichever would be your preference, I should say. You have this little, mechanism connected to the water heater, right? And so anyway, I noticed that the blue light or whatever light you guys have on your water heaters, to indicate hot water is flowing through, was not blinking. It was not blinking, whatsoever. So I'm thinking, okay, that's not good. We're gonna have to let PG&E know, right? Well, I didn't do that at first because my mom, she has a lot going on right now. And the last thing I wanted to let her know about right off the bat was that. That was the last thing I wanted to let her know. So I decided, as stupid as it may sound, and I do claim responsibility for that stupidity, I decided, I'm not going to say anything and I'll let her discover it for herself because I also figured that, hey, if I wasn't here, let's say if I was working and everything, and she was here by herself, she would find that out by herself as well. So I wanted her to discover it for herself. And that's what she did. She discovered it for herself. And she gave me the okay to basically email, basically email through the website, PG&E, to send somebody out today to fix the water heater, to reignite the pilot light. And they did. Now, what's interesting is because of that, I did not take a shower this morning, which I normally do. So I'm going to be probably taking one tonight or later. My mom didn't take a shower last night, which she normally does, which I guarantee she's going to be taking one later today, maybe as soon as she gets home, after she gets settled in. She didn't take one, all because of the fact that all we'd be getting is cold water. And that's pretty much what it became. It became cold water. It was lukewarm for at least, most of the day yesterday. But as soon as my mom tried to take her shower, it was cold. So she had to basically hand wash her face and her arms and all that, and that was it. So that's all she could really do. That's all she could really do. Anyway, long story short, I emailed them through my phone. I actually used my phone to do it, and not the computer. Because I had taken a nap, and that's I was just waking up when she told me. When she told me that she had discovered, on her own what happened. So anyway, I go and I take care of that. I go on the website. I take care of it. And I get somebody out here, and I leave them a note because one of the things they do have on there is access restrictions. Like is there any things we need? Basically, they're saying, hey, is there anything we need to know about access restrictions? Okay, how can or can we not get in there at certain times when you're not home? So I basically said, well, excuse me there, but I basically said that no, nobody's going to be home till after 4. So I'm thinking, okay, they read that and they're going to send somebody out after 4 because they have to read the notes that you leave them. Well, it's not even an hour before I clock out. Not even an hour before I clock out. I'm listening to my music with my MPOW 1 Bluetooth headphone or a singular headphone. This right here. I don't know if you could see that. That right there. It's right there. There you go. I don't know if you can really see that, but anyway, I'm listening to the music on my Bluetooth headphone and everything. I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden, in the middle of it, my phone rings, and I'm thinking it's either my mom wondering if the PG&E people called me, or it's PG&E themselves, and lo and behold, it's PG&E. And they ask, basically, the guy on there asks, hey, is this a good time to come down and take care of this? And I say, well, I'm not really at home right now. I'm still working, but can you try to come a little after 4? And he said, okay, fine, but I can't make any promises of being there at a specific time. He just said he'll try to be there after 4. So I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. That's fine. And what happened was not even 15, 20 minutes after getting home, I hear the doorbell ring, and there's the PG&E guy. Now here's the thing. If my mom was here, I guarantee you she would try to talk him into coming through the house, through the front door there, and going this way. That's what she would have done. She would have convinced him to go through that front door there and down this way to the garage. But he said, hey, but that didn't happen. She wasn't here, and he asked me, hey, can you open up the garage door so I can take care of it that way? Because I'm guessing that's something that they're required to ask for, from the customers, so that way they can just make a straight shot for where the water heater is or whatever they need to be looking at is, which would mostly be in the garage. And then that way they make a straight shot for it, look it over, fix it, clean it, and then leave. And then that's it, right? Well, that's basically what happened here. And I do apologize if I'm stumbling on my words, trying to think about what I'm going to say here. I am tired. I did work today, like I mentioned. But normally I know my mom would try to get them to walk through the house into the garage because she doesn't like always opening the garage and everything. But in this case, that didn't happen. He asked me to do that, and that's what I did. Because even if I would have said, well, would you mind doing this? I don't think he would have. Just my opinion. He would have said, well, I prefer this. Because some have said they prefer it if it's just through the garage so they can get in and out. But yeah, he came today, like I said, 15, 20 minutes after I got home. And he fixed it. He cleaned it. He reignited the pilot light, for the hot water. And he said basically that it wasn't weather related. That what it was mainly, from what I interpreted, is that the back of the machine, the back of the water heater, has this little grill. Like a little grill designed into it with these little holes for ventilation. And he basically said that primarily, now he didn't say it specifically this way, but he basically indicated that primarily was basically one of the main issues. That was one of the main issues causing the pilot light to go out. Because again, what I noticed yesterday, and it kind of does tie into that, what I noticed yesterday was how lukewarm the water was. How lukewarm it was. And I'm thinking, well, if it's lukewarm, obviously there's still some hot water, because if it was actual weather that caused the light to go out, then it would automatically be on cold water, even if you select hot water to wash yourself with or to utilize. So, so my thing was basically, so my thing was, okay, something is not right here. Something's not connecting. Something doesn't make sense if the thing's, has lukewarm water. But the blue light on the machine, because of the mechanism that's on there, they got this little device. I don't know what it's like with other water heaters. I'm sure other water heaters nowadays have it built onto them. This is one of those devices where it's connected basically through little hoses and all that. You know, it has a little dial and everything. Again, I don't know if some of them today are more like it's built into the machine to where you just got to press buttons and all that. And I'm sure there are some out there that are like that. But anyway, getting on point here. Basically, the light, which again, depending on which kind you have, I'm sure you have something that indicates hot water is flowing through regularly. What happened was the blue light that usually flashes and says, "Hey, you got hot water here," and it's flowing through, wasn't flashing. And again, usually that means the pilot light is out. And usually that means we get cold water even when we select hot water. But again, like I said, I felt like it was more lukewarm than anything else. It was more lukewarm for a while. Even when I got home, it was lukewarm. And I'm thinking, okay, something's not right here. But maybe it'll fix itself. Maybe it's just something to where, it's a technicality and it might fix itself. Who knows? Didn't happen. And my mom, she discovered herself that, this is not good, because she was going to go take her shower last night, like she normally does every night. And she found out she couldn't do it the way she wanted because there was no hot water. So she just had to, wash herself, wash her face and her arms and all that, and that was it. Me, I didn't even take a shower this morning because the lukewarm water finally got replaced by cold. And it didn't help that the weather this morning was cold anyway. But be that as it may, like I said, the guy did call. The guy did call me during work, and I said, "Look, I'm nobody's there right now," because he called me, like I said, about an hour before I got out of work. I think I said that. I think I mentioned that. Again, I'm tired. I do apologize if I'm fumbling on my words, but he called me. He called me like an hour before I got out. And I said, "Hey, if you can come, at 4, a little after 4, it'd be great." Which, thank God, he did do that. And he fixed it and told me what the main well, he didn't tell me, but he essentially alluded to the fact of what the main problem could be. Mainly what it could have led to the pilot light going out. So he did advise basically keeping that area in the back, in the bottom back of the heater, where it's more like a ventilation thing, with little holes and everything. He basically recommended keeping that clean at least once a month, or once every month, or once every other month, because of stuff that could be built up in it, debris, stuff like that, dust, whatever, and that could cause the system to kind of be a little wonky, if you will. It causes them to be a little wonky. He also recommended not to have anything around it, which of course others that have come and lit the pilot light have told us, they told us the same thing. It's just one of those situations to where, as we get closer to the winter season, the last thing you want to happen as the nights and the days get colder and all that, the last thing you want to happen is to lose your hot water because of either weather or, in this case, something clogging the ventilation part of the water heater and thus causing the pilot light to go out. Because even when I told him, hey, it could have been weather related, with the winds and everything we've had lately, because it has been windy at times, and a few of the times that it's gone out before, it's because of the wind, because we have this little stack on top of the house, this little stack thing where it kind of connects to the water heater and everything, and I guess it allows the steam to go out when you're using hot water or whatever. He said it couldn't have been that. So he might have been right, because again, like I said, when I went to go take a shower yesterday morning, not this morning, but yesterday morning, when I went to go take a shower, it was still lukewarm. It basically felt like it started to lose its heat, is what it felt like. That's what it felt like to me. But yeah, like I said, it's been an interesting 24 hours for us, and thankfully we now have hot water, and Hopefully it doesn't happen again and, for a very, very long time. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Also wondering if you guys have had any issues like that yourself with your water heaters, depending on where you live. Have you had your pilot lights go out because of weather related, like wind, whatever? Or have you had to go out because maybe the ventilation area, the little area that shouldn't be blocked and all that, needs to be in its design like a vent and all that, had dust and debris clogged up in it? Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. And again, I do apologize if I was all over the place, rambling, stumbling. I'm tired. I did work today. But hey, like I've told you before, I'm trying to provide you with as much content as I can as we go into the Thanksgiving week next week, starting in a few days. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Have you been through this before yourselves? Love to hear from each and every one of you on this. And until next time, I am out.